Hey, it's Sam from Sugar Spun Run, and today we are making cookie butter stuffed snickerdoodles. Obviously, these cookies are going to be delicious any time of year, but I really wanted to get this recipe perfected for the holidays. This is such a fun treat for your cookie tray with an incredibly delicious surprise inside. If you're not familiar with cookie butter, it is ground up Biscoff cookies. You can usually find it in a jar in your grocery store, like usually right by the peanut butter. It's delicious, hard not to eat it by the spoonful. So we're going to put 2 teaspoons of cookie butter inside each of these cookies. So we're going to make those dollops now. I have a 2 teaspoon size cookie scoop, which is what I'm using. It's really the easiest way to do this. And we're going to do 20 dollops of this. And I'm just dropping them right on a wax paper lined baking sheet. If you want to make them slightly bigger, you can too. I did try this recipe with a tablespoon of filling in each cookie, and I just didn't like it as much as the cookies filled with 2 teaspoons. If you want to know how much cookie butter you need, it is just under a cup. Okay, 20 scoops. I'm going to pop this in the freezer. This really needs to chill for at least 20 minutes in order for it to be firm enough to easily fold it into the cookie dough. So I'm going to pop it in the freezer, and then we're going to start making our dough. All right, while that's chilling, we're going to make our cookie dough. And this comes together very easily. I did have someone pop in who decided they wanted to help me. Who do we have here?
Luke Ryan.
The whole name. Okay, so we're gonna make our cookie dough. Now for this recipe, you need 1 cup or 226 grams of unsalted butter. You want this to be softened, not melty or oily, but nice and soft.
I want to do both.
You wanna do both? Okay. We're going to be creaming the butter and sugar together rather than using melted butter. I love that technique often, but this softened butter is going to give us a more stable dough that will work better to hold in that filling. Can I give you a little bit of a hand with that? Nope, you did a great job. We're also going to be adding a cup of granulated sugar if you want to add that, Luke. And you could absolutely make today's recipe in a stand mixer if you'd like. Today I'm just going to be using my electric hand mixer instead.
Can I dump it in?
Yep, dump it in.
Can I mix it?
You can help me with it, yeah, for sure. All right, let's cream this together until it's nice and well combined.
I got this. I got it.
We forgot some of our sugar. Fortunately, we didn't get too far yet. We're also going to add a 3rd cup of firmly packed light brown sugar. You want to add that too?
Yeah,
Phew.
I'll mix it.
Almost too late, but we caught it just in time. I like to do a blend of light and dark brown sugar just for a really nice flavor.
I got this.
You got it. You're doing a great job.
Mom, is that good?
Let's take a look. Yes, it is. See, it's creamy, lightened, nice and pale yellow.
It, right?
No, I don't think we need you to try it, but I appreciate the offer. That's very helpful of you. So the next thing we're gonna do with this recipe is we're going to add 1 large egg plus 1 egg yolk. These should be at room temperature, not cold. So Luke, go ahead and grab me, pick an egg, pick any egg. There's 1 egg, and then I'm gonna do the yolk. So by doing an egg and an egg yolk instead of 2 eggs, we create a dough that's a little bit more dry, and it's going to hold in that filling a little bit better. It makes for a really nice tender cookie. So for the egg yolk, you break it, you pass that yolk back and forth between the shells, and then we drop it in there. Just the yolk, you can save that white. What should we do with that egg white? Maybe we should feed it to the dogs?
Yeah.
So the next thing we're going to add is just a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And we're just doing a 1/2 teaspoon because I didn't want this dough to be too rich because we have a pretty decadent filling in there. So I'm going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. I love my homemade vanilla. It's got those beans in there. Okay, the recommended amount is 1/2 teaspoon, but if you have children, you may find yourself needing to add an extra 1/2 teaspoon. It won't ruin things, but it is going to make the dough a little bit richer than I recommend for this recipe. All right, so now we're gonna mix this in until everything's combined.
What do you want it on?
Start with 1 and then turn it up. Always better to start on a lower speed, get things a little mixed, sorry, and then turn up the speed to make sure everything's well combined. He's become very independent. He makes his own breakfast. He's been making his own sandwiches for lunch. He helped me with dinner the other day. Right, Luke?
Yeah.
Well, I like that he wants to do these things in the kitchen. It is always his own idea to film with me. All right, that's good, Luke. Can I do a couple mixes so they don't think I'm just being lazy around here?
Yeah.
Make sure we got it. So when you're mixing, always make sure you check the sides and bottom of the bowl to ensure that things are well combined. So a spatula is a great tool for this. We'll scrape the sides, scrape the bottom, make sure everything is nicely mixed in here. And it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
You did a great job. All right, next we need another bowl for our dry ingredients. So we've got our flour. This is 3 cups of all-purpose flour, regular all-purpose today. A lot of our cookies use cake flour, but all-purpose is your best bet here. So that's three cups is 375 grams. We're adding 3/4 teaspoon of table salt. That's all, we don't need any more. And I've got some other things I'll slide over here for you.
Can I do some?
Yes. We are going to add 1.5 teaspoons of cream of tartar. Go ahead and add that in. Cream of tartar is a classic snickerdoodle ingredient. It adds that signature snickerdoodle tang. So that tanginess that you get, it's very important for a true classic snickerdoodle. That is a teaspoon of cornstarch. Go ahead and add it. Cornstarch is going to help keep the cookie tender, help keep that filling on the inside instead of spilling out. That is a teaspoon of baking soda. Go ahead and add that. And then finally, a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. You can go ahead and add it. The cinnamon, again, adds a nice subtle flavor to the dough, but it doesn't make it too rich. So we can go ahead and whisk these ingredients together, get everything nicely combined. All right, so we're going to gradually add the dry ingredients in like 3 or 4 parts. Do not start mixing it yet. I'm gonna add about 1/3 of that and start on low speed. All right, I'm gonna add more. You keep mixing. Let's add that last bit in. Okay, and we're going to check that this dough is nice and uniform and well combined. And it's not. Look at that, all that flour I left on the bottom. Okay, so once our dough is made, before we pull that cookie butter out of the freezer, I want to make our cinnamon sugar that we're going to be rolling the dough in. Here I have 1/4 cup of granulated sugar and a tablespoon of ground cinnamon. Luke, do you want to go ahead and mix those together?
Why?
Because that's what we're going to roll the cookies in. Snickerdoodles are always rolled in cinnamon and sugar. You may be able to hear my baby in the background. All right, go ahead and whisk this together and get that nicely combined. Looking good, looking good. All right, that looks good. Okay. So we're going to roll the cookies through that in a moment. So you hold on to that. I'm gonna grab the cookie butter out of the freezer. It will soften quickly, so we're gonna work quickly. I'll fill like 6 of them, put it back in the freezer, and then pull it back out and use it again. That way it doesn't get too soft to handle. This is cold. All right, so Luke, I'm gonna scoop the dough real quickly. We're going to do 2 tablespoons of dough per cookie. That's like 44 grams of dough per cookie. We're going to roll this into a smooth ball, make a nice indent in the center. Put our cookie butter in it and form that dough around the cookie butter. Roll it so it's nice and smooth again. Well, first, can you do me a favor and roll this through the cinnamon and sugar? Make sure it gets all the way covered. Looks good. All right, so you wanna put the in the middle of the next one?
Yeah.
Teamwork, right, buddy? You got it, dude. And you should get 20 cookies from this recipe, as you probably guessed by the fact that we made 20 cookie butter dollops. Do you wanna roll this one for me? You do wanna try to keep that cookie butter centered. That way it doesn't spill out. So I'm gonna let you keep working on that. These I'm going to put in the freezer. So after you have assembled your cookies, we're going to pop them in the freezer for 15 minutes. This is going to help give the cookie a nice shape, keep it from spreading too much, help keep that filling inside, which we know is important. So I'm gonna let them sit for 15 minutes. This also makes this recipe a great make in advance one. So if you wanted to prep the dough now and keep it in your freezer, see my blog post on how to properly freeze the cookie dough, but it would be great for, you know, actually baking around Christmas time, but preparing now. Now, while these are chilling in the freezer, I like to get my oven preheating to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. That is 175 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to put these in the freezer and I'll see you in 15 minutes while we continue to fill these. All right, after 15 minutes, it's nice and cold, we can go ahead and start baking our cookies. So I'm going to move them to a different baking sheet because I only like to bake like 6 at a time. The cookies need to be spaced at least 2 inches apart because of course they're going to spread some. And then they're going to bake in the center rack of our 350 degree Fahrenheit preheated oven for about 12 to 13 minutes. You can look for the very, very edges to be turning a very light golden color. All right, now as with just about all of my cookie recipes, you'll want to let the cookies cool completely on the baking sheet, and I should have mentioned this first, you actually want them to look slightly underdone when they come out of the oven. This is because they're going to finish baking on the baking sheet as they cool, and then they will be just perfectly done. If you pull them out when they are already completely baked, then what's going to happen is they're going to overbake and they're going to be dry and crumbly after a while. My technique helps keep the cookies nice and soft and chewy for days. Once they've cooled, you can go ahead and dig in. Let's go ahead and break into one of these. What do you think? Oh yeah. I really think you're going to love these. If you try them, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. I always love hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Okay, you want a cookie?
Yeah.
Which one do you want?
This one.
Okay, this one for you. Oh, you picked the big half.
Yeah.
This one for me. Just tell me what you think.
Good.
Ella, this is where I work. Anyone who watches to the end gets to see Ella. That's your bonus. I appreciate you. Bonus footage with her bow. Isn't she cute? She has a lot of ridiculous bows. What do you think of Ella?
Oh, cute pie.
Is anyone gonna notice we swapped Luke for Rhett? The kids work on their own agenda. I can't get the consistency.